All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com. Look, I wanted to do a quick little crypto update. This is what I'm trying to do every week, in a way, at the end of the trading week, because again, for your traditional markets, it's already the end of the week, but for cryptos, well, we still have the weekend to go through. So look, before we go any further, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'm not going to disappear anywhere. We are seeing some interesting activity in the crypto world for sure. That's no doubt there. Hey, the big question is like, how further can we actually fall? Now, look, before we go any further, actually, before we jump into the charts, I need to quickly mention our Markets.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. Let's have a look what's happening in the crypto world. Let me just change my charts here. I'm looking at different various things at the same time, and let's pick up on the crypto world and Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, the headline. Look, falling further. I talked about this, and I talked about this in my Markets Talk webinars. If you watched those, congratulations. I mean, I was shouting about this for a long time, now. That when we were still in this little territory around the 104, 103 zone, I said, look, I'm going to lean towards the downside if we do fall below this 99 territory, 99,000 zone. There we go. Boom. Then my next target was the 93 territory. We reached that one. Then I said, look, if we're gonna drop and stay below it, and as long as we continue to trade below the 93,000, my next target is the 89 zone. There we go. Boom. And then after that, I said, look, if we do clear this 88,000 zone, my next 89,000 zone, then my next target is the 83 territory. This is what I was mentioning in my webinar on Wednesday, and boom, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We reached that target. Actually, we surpassed that target, but I didn't really expect that we were going to fall that much. Kind of closer to the 80,000 zone, but okay, that's fine. I'll take that. Look, what I'm looking at next. First of all, in general, the crypto world right now is suffering, and everybody's kind of moving out of it. And to be honest, it's quite logical because you cannot really, invest into cryptos when they're at their all-time highs in a way, like Bitcoin here, right? We reached 126,000 in the beginning of October, beginning of November. Now we're seeing a major drop here, and in a way, there is still a chance for this one to slide further south. The only thing what I need here right now is a drop below that 83,000 zone, and then my next target is the 74.5 zone, somewhere around here. This is where a nice holdup might occur. This is the lowest point of April. If you remember the big crash that we had in the stock market as well, that was because of the big tariff board that was held in front of us on camera by the U.S. leader, and basically, the market didn't really like that. Now, look, this is where I'm aiming for right now. Only if it drops below the 83,000 zone here. In general, we could try to think, where the next potential support area could be. So if we look at the bigger picture, and if we look at the monthly chart here, let me just zoom in here a little bit. Now, if we take a look at our Fibonacci levels and draw it from the lowest point of 2022 all the way to the highest point, the all-time high. So you'll see that currently, let me just actually adjust the levels here a little bit. I think levels line may be okay. Yeah, I think the colors need to be adjusted here. But anyway, look, I hope I hope you'll understand here, because I'm sorry for a bunch of white lines here, but I'll try to explain, because those are like coinciding with my other levels here. Um, Look, we have reached the 38.2% on the Fibonacci retracement, which is basically drawn from the lowest point of 2022 to the highest point, or to the all-time high, and we are now resting on the 38.2. Perfect. Now that's interesting. Let's see what's going to happen next. That 38.2 is roughly around the 84,000 zone where we are right now. Great. Now the next target we're looking at is the 50%. And now the 50% is actually a little bit below my initial target, which I mentioned, the 74.5 zone. The 50% is around a 70, 71 zone, something like that. So I think it's a good, decent area to keep an eye on. I think that, yes, more downside could come. And in general, I think that more buyers could pick up on that. Unless we have a major drop, actually. But at the moment, let's go slowly on this. Let's not rush into things. Certainly, the downside scenario is the more attractive one right now. The hard bulls and all those hard supporters of crypto will start buying right now. However, because the crypto world became institutionalized, and especially Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, major institutions are investing into that. So you have to look at it from the perspective that it will move in a way. It will move in a way like major, other asset classes. And in general, I have said this before in my one of my sessions that in my opinion, that we're heading towards the situation where uh, all these cryptos, Bitcoin, your Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Polkadot, all of them are going to actually spread out. I don't think that they're going to be cryptos anymore. I think they're going to be more aligned to different asset classes, like either it's a stock, either it's a commodity, or it will be looked more as a stock, or it will be taken more as a commodity or a currency pair. So, and I do, like I said, I do have my kind of feelings about this. I think that Bitcoin will be more of a and like a stock in a way, and again, we'll see how it goes, or a stock or a commodity, somewhere in between maybe, or we'll see. Of course, like I said, it's because again, somebody might say that the maybe Bitcoin could be seen as an alternative to gold. That said, it's not physical. It's not really a store of value in a way, because again, it's determined. It's really deregulated. Not regulated properly in a way yet. Although we're seeing more and more regulation kicking in, and I think that this is what might scare some hard investors into crypto. Once it becomes more regulated, then yes, I think that this is where Bitcoin could actually, I wouldn't say fall off the cliff, but certainly experience a bit of a slide. Now, because again, you're kind of killing the whole essence of the crypto. Bitcoin Cash, there we go. The technical picture shows us that we managed to clear this little territory here, the lower side of this triangle, the symmetrical triangle. But my problem right now is that I'm kind of leaning towards the downside, yes, but the fact that we're pushing strongly back inside the triangle, now that's raising a few concerns for the bear block. Because again, if we're somehow travel back inside this triangle, then maybe we're not really willing to, sell off further. Ripple, for example, Ripple is holding near a key area of support. Now, I did a little piece on Ripple today for our VIP clients. That look, this 1.1990 zone is quite an interesting one. This is the lowest point of June. And if it continues somehow to provide support, then maybe we could see a bit of a rebound here, a little bit of a correction back up. That said, if we do fall and stay below the 1.1990, then I'm leaning towards this area, this key area of support around the 1.5861 levels ish. It has been a good area of support, as you can see yourselves. And what I said this morning in my Markets Talk webinar, that we are, I think, establishing new norms. And if before November, before November of last year, we saw Ripple kind of sitting around that zero point 0.5 territory. Now I think we're now in the area between 1 and 3. So in a way, I think the 1.5, 1.6 is kind of becoming the new low for Ripple. So again, this is theory just for now. Let's see in practice how it will be, but certainly judging from how the markets are behaving, it could be the case. It could be that Ripple, might travel further south here and find support near the 1.5861. If it provides a strong hold up here, if more investors will believe that, what, I think we think that Ripple has retraced enough. It's a strong company. It has potential. So let's jump in. So again, that's what I'm saying. So we had those great moves to the upside. We did retrace from the July highs a lot now, so there was like around 3.6, above 3.6. So we're now at 1.9. So again, it's a decent retracement. Another drop to the 1.6 territory could actually spark some interest among investors. And then again, that's in my opinion. Ethereum continues to slide. I'm kind of leaning towards that psychological 2000 zone, to be honest. We dropped below the 3. 2.5 will be the interesting level to watch. Maybe, like I said, maybe somewhere here we could see a little hold up. 2.5 maybe, but again, or maybe actually there could be an option for 2.4, 2,400 basically. So initially, let's aim for this area and then we'll kind of take it from there. But I do like the idea of 2,000 and testing the area of 2,000, but let's be a little bit more realistic. So let's be careful. And 2,500, 2,400 is the area to watch. Litecoin continues to slide. Yep. Look, we continue to move further away from that psychological 100 level, but let's not. Let's not kind of be way too pessimistic. I think Litecoin is one of those like Bitcoin Cash, which probably is not going to, let's say, fall off the cliff that much in general. I like Litecoin, I like Bitcoin Cash. Those are interesting, and just purely from their movement. So yes, for now I'm just targeting the 76.4 territory, and then we'll go from there. Dogecoin is near key support. Now this is where I talked about this before. This is the area that I'm watching, the 0.14, 28, 29 zone. 0.13, of course, is the next target. We kind of came closer to it today, but let's see if we can stay above the 0.1429. If we can, maybe a little bit of a rebound here could be possible. Maybe we could see something like this happening here. So like I said, it has been a good area of support in the past, probably from the beginning of this year, March. Yes, it was a strong one. So let's see if Elon Musk can do something, say something, to support this crypto. Polkadot found good support near this 2.35 area-ish, marked by the low of our previous lowest point of November. We did create a new low, so let's see if this is going to hold. If it breaks, then yes, I'm leaning towards the downside. But if it holds, I'm considering a little bit of a retracement back to the upside here. And finally, Tron. Now, Tron, in the beginning of this video, I said that some cryptos will be seen as stocks, some commodities, some currency pairs. Now, I see Tron, actually, I said it and mentioned before, I see Tron more as a currency pair, to be honest. Because it just kind of moves in a way like a normal forex pair. For now, we're seeing a good hold up near the 0.2764 area. Let's see if we can actually stay above this. If we can, a little bit of a rebound could be possible, and I'm considering a little bit of a rebound. If we do drop below this area and we stay below this 0.2764, ladies and gentlemen, I'm targeting this next good target around the 0.26 or 0.2590 area. I think, like I said, it's a strong area of support. It acted as a good area of support in the past, so why not to aim for that one? But again, a confirmation break here is required. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope this helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for our further future videos, in order not to miss those, of course. And I'll see you in my next little video update. For now, as always, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.